Alrighty, welcome back everybody.
This is game 2 of the Brisbane Canberra Invitational 2017, held in beautiful Canberra between Newcastle I-Beam and Colony Plunder out of Sydney.
For those just tuning in this morning, we have Max and my name's Angie, and welcome to BCI.
Colony Plunder will be in the light blue, and I-Beam is in their
green.
Traditional green. So the game will be getting underway shortly. Both teams finish their warm-ups, almost ready to go. Colony Plunder just coming off the back of a close universe point win against Mammoth in their first game this morning, which is pretty impressive considering Mammoth were the winners at SMO just a couple of weeks ago. So Colony Plunder coming out, putting a stamp on the tournament, saying we're here and we mean business. It looks like Colony will be starting this game on offense. There's not really much wind to speak of, so
it's quite still today.
Expect to see some impressive throws. There's some very capable throwers on both teams, and
hoping to see some excellent aerial contests from this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like Colony will actually be coming out on defense, and I-Beam will be starting on offense.
Evans is requesting a new disc. So we've got I-Beam coming out on offense then. Don't know.
Standing up the first pull of the game. Huge outside in backhand.
Alright. To Davies on disc, I knew that name. Awesome. To 11. Upfield to number 8. Some good looking resets. Looking upfield. Nice around from Davies. Straight through to 14. Back to Davies. Think we'll be seeing a lot from him this game. To Hayes, I believe. Just outside the end zone. An easy dishy.
Pretty nice offense there from I-Beam first point.
There was a bit of a pause there, so I thought that might be a call, but looks like that was a definite goal.
And I-Beam 1-0.
Here's a replay.
I-Beam showing themselves very comfortable, generating unders, dumping and swinging, not taking too many aggressive options, but punching it in.
Some very nice clinical offense.
We'll see if Colony can respond.
So just found out that this is, in fact, I-Beam's first game of the weekend, so we'll see how they go.
They're currently 100% from all the points they've played.
Nice, Max. This is some pretty good stats. Let's see what they come up with for the rest of the day.
All right, Plunder coming out on offense.
Some big plays from him this game.
Well, he's got quite an impressive resume, and here we get another look at that just over the hands of the I-beam defender over the back of his. Maybe not quite able to get a good read on it. Latamatos got an impressive Frisbee resume, but no doubt the highlight of his resume was attending high school with me and winning the 2008 Sydney under-16s inter-school gala day.
You know, you should start a story like that with a fun fact from Max.
It is a fun fact, and pretty much
That's a
everything
great
he's
fact.
done since has been downhill. But recently being announced as a reserve on the Crocs squad
That's
for
right.
World Games later this year, so props to him for that. Mark Evans, also on the
main
Crocs.
squad for Crocs. It looks like Neild is not at the fields, so might be missing a couple players.
M. Hodgson with the pull. Big outside in backhand.
Lovely pull. There's no wind, so these pulls are looking very good. Newcastle on offense. Davies on disc. Out the field to 11. Nothing upfield. Might be looking for that reset. Lovely. Bit of a contest there. That Newcastle comes down with that goal.
Petrov putting pressure on that catch, but not quite able to get there. And we're on serve, 2-1.
Bit of a replay here. There's the up the line. Just looking, end zone. That was quite close. But
we
I-beam came down with it.
And we should apologise for the lack of zoom on our camera at the moment.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties. We are doing our best to resolve it. And also apologies for the
no visual.
lack of visual as well.
So we've got a small screen in front of us of what the stream should look like, but apparently you guys don't have any visual. So we're pretty much podcasting at this point.
We'll be doing our best to describe everything we see.
Well, both teams have 7 on the line, so they're ready to go.
Pull goes up. Everyone's running.
Pull from Tim Booth. Through now. Apparently it might pick up later, so we'll get to see some games in windy conditions later, hopefully.
And we're still on serve. 2-all. In true Colony fashion, they've got ridiculous amounts of Australian rep experience on their team.
Ah, yes indeed.
And they'll be taking advantage of that veteran cool on their offense and those smart moves and reads of the play on defense. Colony on D now. Looks like Mark Evans will be setting up to take the pull.
Yeah, Sydney has definitely produced quite a few good players. Their Frisbee scene is just growing constantly.
Evans with the pull.
All right, here we go. It's a big inside-out pull.
I-beam
Giving
setting up in their traditional side stack,
Yep.
isolating a cutter in the lane.
To Davies. Hayes looking for the disc. Nope, it's reset. Quick handler movement. Upfield to 44 to 8. Sorry, I didn't know the names. Team 2 Colony, and it looks like there was a call.
Looks like the call might have been that Petrov came in and initiated contact.
Mm-hmm.
Petrov
So there's
didn't
a
look like he was
replay.
ever
If you
looking
wanted
towards
to
the frisbee.
weigh in on this, there's a replay, and so the I-beam player did have a clean grab of that, but it looks like he was kind of sandwiched by the two other players.
They're discussing, like it's getting some good reenactment.
Yeah.
From the I-beam player.
We'll see how they resolve it.
And it looks like a retracted call.
Retracted call.
So Colony will pick up the disc. Mark Evans with M in the dump space. Colony setting up a side stack, isolating Latamatos.
Bit of a poach from Davies in the lane.
Dump to Hodgson. Hodgson finds the inside break. Fakes the deep shot. And then takes advantage of the big swing to Petrov.
Apologies, I've been saying Davies, but it's actually Davey. It's just force of habit from the nickname. But
Latamatos up line.
Looking long.
Reaching for Petrov.
Oh.
Can't quite
Not
toe
quite
it in the end zone. The sideline here is indicating that he should have attempted the greatest.
Saying he didn't try one just now.
And that throw may not have actually come back in, so I-beam will get it from about 10 metres in front of their own end zone.
Davey on disc. Looking for an upfield throw, but Conley's playing pretty good defense, so nothing quite there. Looking for a swing. Intercepted.
Mark Evans there with the nice interception, and
fat
immediately
side.
looks fat side with the outside in forehand. Hits
Lovely.
his target. Evans is pretty deadly with the disc in his hands. Plenty of experience in his throws.
He is quite a good thrower.
As we get the replay now. Evans, great strength to take that interception.
Yep.
And then immediate response, flick to the far sideline for the goal.
Players like Evans just have this amazing composure on disc, which only comes with experience. Great play by Colony. So Newcastle is back on offense.
And that was the first break of the game. Colony leads 3-2.
Alrighty. Bit of a strat talk from Evans on their D-line. Looks like they're ready to go. And just waiting on I-beam now. All right. Ball coming up from Evans. And it rolled out the back corner of the end zone, so. And it's gone all the way to the other side of the next field. Looks like Davey on disc. All right. He's walking it back up to the front of the end zone.
And Colony looking like they're playing a bit of a switchy man defense with Evans providing help
Nice.
deep.
Oh, huge.
And it pays off as he gets up big, though it looks like there might have been a call.
Nope, I think that was Hayes went up for a disc, I believe, for the block.
And it's an
Was there a
uncontested
call?
foul by the look of it as I-beam retakes possession.
Yep. And that's a goal.
Quick dump and then hitting to the break side for IBM. That's a nice goal.
All right, so we're 3-3. Pretty close game so far. So we've got Colony on offense. So I think the video feed is still dead, so
Apologies for that.
just us talking.
We're doing our best to get it back online. Well, to be honest,
well,
we're not doing anything.
anything.
The people that know what they're doing are doing their best to get it back online.
Tim Booth with the pool coming up now. All right. Standard man defense from
Immediately shoots deep to
IBM.
Latamados, marked by Tim Booth.
Oh,
Bit of a jostleable position, but it goes to ground.
just enough pressure to generate a turnover. Newcastle looking deep straight away, and
Too many wheat bix this morning.
punted that deep, but receiver wasn't quite there yet.
Shoots a laser beam. Latamados now, looking like he'll head and pick up the disc. As Colony set up a diagonal stack with no dump.
Oh,
This is
cool.
an interesting structure that has been getting a bit of popularity recently.
Yeah.
We'll see how they go.
So it looks for that swing.
Immediately coming off the front of the stack. Centers it into the middle of the field.
Looks like they're collapsing back to a standard vertical. Oh,
And Petrov's throw a little bit too far out in front for a diving Hodgson to make the grab. IBM pick up in the middle of the field.
Booth with the disc. Some quick handler movement. He's looking deep. He really wants to throw that goal. And looking for the deep shot. And that's straight out of the back of the end zone.
Attempting the pretty difficult inside-out break throw there. And not able to quite make it stick. Gets a little bit too much air under the front edge of the disc and it sails out the back of the end zone. Colony will set up in pretty much the same position as earlier. In the same diagonal stack without the dump. Andy Mitchell picking up for Colony.
Alrighty.
Michael Henry Thomas sitting up at the front of the stack and immediately cuts to the center again. And then finds Latamados
Really
for the
quick.
swing.
Oh, looking deep. Not quite happy with what he sees. Newcastle trying to force him to slow down their tempo a little bit.
Thomas to Petrov. Back to Thomas. Reaching deep for Mitchell.
Oh, lovely.
Beautiful over the head
Lovely
of the
throw.
I-beam defender. Never had a chance. Great throw from Thomas.
All right, so they're going to try and restart the stream, and we'll be back soon, hopefully.
And we're back live. Technical difficulties have been sorted.
Do we have video?
Bringing you back in the action. Colony up 4-2 over Newcastle I-Beam.
4-3. I think the score on the stream is incorrect. It's 4-3. To Davey. And Dishy for a goal.
That takes it to 4s.
Awesome. Welcome back to the feed, everybody. This is Newcastle I-Beam playing against Colony Plunder. And it's currently 4-4. And we've got Colony on offense.
All right, for offense, Colony Plunder this point has Hodgson, Mitchell, Petrov, Vladimiros, McDonald, Thomas, and Spielman on the line. Lots of experience, lots of talent. Let's see what they can do.
All right, the ball goes up.
It's going to be fielded by McDonald. Can't get off the first pass to Mitchell. Looks to the stack, finds Thomas coming under.
Standard man defense from I-Beam.
Cheeky, bladey forehand to Ladamados. Finds Mitchell in the dump, immediately gets it back.
Lovely.
Finds Hodgson coming under.
Looking for an inside up.
Hodgson reaching for the end zone. Bit of a pack grab. McDonald does seem to get a full hand on it, but can't quite close the hand on the disc, and that'll be a turnover.
That's a turn. So I-Beam on offense. Looks like Booth is walking towards the disc. Looks like they're setting up a horror stack. Let's see how this works out for them. There's a call on the field. Bit of a jostle. All right, disc is back in. Lovely breakthrough. And it's gone up.
Beautiful
making it look quite
flick.
easy. That was a great point from I-Beam.
Out in front of the receiver. Very nice throw.
And here's the replay. Oh, it's a lovely throw. Straight into the end zone.
And I-Beam will call timeout. I-Beam currently up 5-4. I-Beam pretty happy with how things are going so far. Probably just calling this timeout as a chance to rest the legs, grab a drink.
Yep. They do have a smaller roster, so should be good to regroup a bit.
True, typical Newcastle style to have a tiny roster
That's
at any
right.
tournament they go to. And I think for years we've been saying, oh, they'll be tired, or they won't have the legs. And they always seem to surprise us.
That's right. We have our resident game advisor here, Ashley Donaldson. So if we have any strange calls, we'll be sure to get him to weigh in for us. I'm sure he's very excited to do that. He has confirmed he's very excited. So it looks like we're coming out of this timeout. Colony's got their players on the line, just waiting on I-beam now.
I-beam on 3, 1, 2, 3!
Alrighty, I-beam's ready to go. I-beam coming out on. Oh, apologies. It looks like I-beam has the disc that they are actually pulling. That would make sense because they just scored a goal. My bad. Yeah, I should pay more attention. Pull goes up.
Looks like it'll be
Slingering.
Angus McDonald picking up.
There we go.
No, Andy Mitchell.
Looks like Vran, I believe, marking Evans, looking deep. Oh,
Great grab.
great grab. Bit of contact, but
Gets around Tim Booth to take the disc in the end zone.
Evans just brushing it off, claiming the goal. Here's a replay.
Get another look at this.
Here's another. Just
Tim Booth definitely had position.
he
Great
did.
athleticism by Evans to make
That's
up the
right.
ground, get there, and snag it with his left hand.
looks pretty happy with that. All right. Now Newcastle actually is on offense. So it's 5-all.
Mark Evans setting up to pull.
Looks like I-beam's ready to go. Ball goes up. looking straight to Davey. Bit of a junky zone again. Bit of switching here and there. That's quite close. Looking for the easy upfield options. Colony forcing them to play up the sideline, but they got that swing off. All right, back to Davey. Nice swing. Back to Davey, lovely. Straight up the line, and that's a turnover.
Unfortunate drop there.
Great look from Davey.
Offense looked smooth from I-beam. Not quite able to get it all the way there though. And Latamatos will pick up, walking up to the front of the end zone. Setting up in this diagonal stack again. Latamatos in the dump. Still count gets high, lobs a forehand on top of the stack.
Oh,
Mark Evans goes upstairs and then immediately launches the backhand to Angus McDonald in the end zone for the goal. Sorry,
That's
not
a
Angus
goal.
McDonald, Benjamin Sutaz, who takes it.
Mark Evans just out of nowhere from the middle of the stack.
Getting some serious work done. As we mentioned before, Evans on the Crocs World Games team, who will be playing a couple of test matches against Japan in the middle of May. Those test matches that we've just heard have been officially ratified by WFDF as part of their new international test match structure. We've been asked to give a bit of a plug to those two matches. I believe it'll be May 19 in Sydney and May 21 in Melbourne. So get along.
A few nods of approval from all around us for the plug.
Buy a ticket. I'm sure the info will be on AFTA's Facebook page and website pretty soon. So get around it. It's a pretty rare opportunity to see not only the best that Australia's got to offer, but coming up against the Japanese, who have a very distinctive style of their own. It's always good to see different styles of ultimate clash and see who can come out on top. And that's 6-5 to Colony now. M. Hodgson setting up with the pool. Chatting with the Colony players before. They've got a few core players that play O and a few core players that play D. But there's plenty of flexibility to
It's a
mix
lovely
it up.
pull. Straight up to Davey. Hayes looking for the cut. Not quite there. Doing some very clean handle movement to generate some movement. Keep up the tempo. Colony really forcing them to the sideline. Bit of a misread from I-beam.
But there may have been a call. Everyone else isn't moving.
It looks like the call was retracted. So Colony is just going to play offense now.
Evans picks up, looks to the end zone as he's been known to do, but turns and dumps to Thomas.
Crossfield.
Crossfield blade reaching for Evans, who dives for it but can't
I-beam moves it straight away.
take the catch.
Slowing it down a little bit, assessing their options. I think that was just right in front of the end zone. Front corner. Oh, looking fat side. Oh, great grab. Great grab.
Great backing up there by the I-beam player. He wasn't the intended receiver, but showing that it pays to help out.
I believe that
Sturt
was
Wilson,
scored by
27,
Sturt
we are
Wilson,
told.
27. Thank you, John Holmes, for the information. All right, so we're 6-all. We're about halfway through the game, and scoreline has been close the whole way through. So potentially a universe point this game.
It's often at this point in the game that teams will look to stack their D-lines a little bit and try and break into half. But Colony got a pretty standard-looking O-line out in response. We've got Oscar Francis, Angus McDonald, Andy Mitchell, Alex Latamatos, M. Hodgson, Michael Henry Thomas, and Dan Petrov out there.
Looks like ready to go.
Latamatos signals they're ready. The pull comes up.
Pull from Tim Booth. There's a little bit of wind now. It's slowly picking up.
Mitchell fields the pull. Immediate swing to Latamatos. Colony operating out of a split stack. Immediately reaches deep. Hodgson to Thomas.
Great grab.
And a nice snag by Thomas in the end zone. Easy as you like it.
So that's 7-6 to Colony. I'm dropping the ball a bit with the names, but I do recognize a few now. So you've got Davey and Booth and Wilson, I believe, and possibly Hayes as well for I-beam on offense.
Colony on defense. Looks like they've taken my advice. They've brought Latamatos and Hodgson from the O-line over to the D-line.
Ah.
Evans and Sutas also out there with Spielman. And they'll be looking to hopefully get the break this point and take half 8-6. Got a few of those offensive players to come over to the D-line, hopefully provide a bit of composure and a bit of oomph if they get the turn.
So Colony has a shot at a galaxy point, if you will, take half. Think we should make that term popular?
I did think the galaxy point was only when it was 7-all.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see if
So
I-beam holds
I-beam
here.
Yep,
If I-beam holds,
that's
then
true.
we'll have a galaxy
My
point on our
apologies.
hands.
Bit of a roll on that pull to Davey. Ah, lovely. To Hayes, I believe. And up the line. He's looking end zone. Oh, great block.
Benjamin Sutas managing to get a hand in there and get the block.
Looks like they're going back to their diagonal stack.
Latamatos walking over to pick it up. Pinches a bit of grass, tosses it into the wind. See what's happening. Finds Hodgson in the center. Callan goes deep, but Hodgson doesn't like it. Instead finds Evans coming under. Fakes the big, but dumps back to Hodgson. Latamatos leaves his defender on the ground in the dust.
Looking for a swing. Lovely.
Nice around backhand. And another one to Spielman. Spielman, the lefty, launches the forehand outside
He
in.
goes up.
He's got Evans.
Evans is there.
Takes it beautifully.
Again, making it look quite easy.
Weighted that perfectly. Giving Evans
Lovely.
an easy job. 2 hands on it.
So that's 8-6 to Colony.
And that's half. We'll have a chat with some of our expert analysts on the sideline and get back to you. Enjoy the break.
Great discipline on that movement. Really well. One dive where actually all happened like that. But one person was that way, one person was that way, one person was that way. But we should take that would be great. What this is productive refining, okay? Build our offense to what we want. We know what that means. Get back into the second half. Keep the energy up, keep the side going. Grab a shot. One, two, three, Plunder! Mental beam on three. 1, 2, 3.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Colony Plunder. against Newcastle I-Beam. It is currently 8-6 to Colony. They were trading to 6-all, and then Colony managed to get a break and take half. During that half time, I imagine Colony was just saying, more of the same, please. Keep up the intensity. Generally, they've been looking pretty good. They've had a couple of unforced errors.
Colony's looking good, though. Evans is definitely working quite hard for his team.
Absolutely, a lot of the play running through him, as was expected coming into the game. At halftime, we had a chat to a couple of expert analysts on the sideline, and they were noting that I-Beam is short a couple of typical faces that we see out of Newcastle. Some of the elder statesmen of the team aren't here this weekend. John Greenfield and Chris Warris unable to make it. Rumour has it they're both booked in for hip replacements, but we're waiting for that to be confirmed.
We need a fact check on that, I think. So...
And the pool's about to come up. From Tim Booth, it'll be received by the Colony O-line. Lada Martos will get things kicked off. Looks to send it to Mitchell, but good hustle by the Newcastle defense to get down and stop that first pass. Eventually finds Spielman. Goes back on the inside to Thomas, who launches. Looking deep to Petrov. Petrov lays out. Can't quite get there.
Just a bit short.
Petrov known for making some pretty huge plays at times, but can't quite make that one happen. Colony looking like they're playing pretty standard man defense. Though we've got Spielman hanging off the back a bit, probably looking to help deep. He's a pretty massive aerial threat.
Another horror stack from I-Beam. Quite wary of that deeper poach. Looking a bit short. That deep threat's probably a bit of a worry. Colony intercepted.
Petrov nicely read. Quick dishy to Spielman to Ladamardos. Goes back to McDonald. Back to Ladamardos.
Oh, great grab. Picking up scraps.
Has to get onto the dirt to make that catch, but he does. Mitchell now. Doesn't like the look of Thomas, but eventually takes that option.
Yeah, probably hasn't to move that too close to the sideline.
Back to Mitchell in the center. Colony losing yards now,
overhead.
But maintaining possession.
Lovely.
Finds Ladamardos in the center for a few meters. Ladamardos goes upstairs with the hammer. So does Petrov. Elevates, but not quite able to complete the catch. Well read and well timed by Petrov, but
bit unlucky on that grab.
Yeah, did everything he had to do.
He almost had it. He almost had it.
Close his hand on the frisbee.
So you've got Booth on disc for I-Beam. Looks deep straight away to Vran, I believe. Up for a contest. Oh.
Petrov looking to move it quickly and get play restarted to Ladamardos. And
Looking
Ladamardos
big.
shoots deep. This is a huck fest, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
But well out in front of Spielman. Can't complete. Tim Booth probably wanting to slow it down a bit and calm down, asking his team if they want to take a timeout.
Let's see if he takes it. Walks up to the line and disc in. Looking upfield, Fran, back to Booth. Some quick, safe options. Oh, lovely breakthrough. Back to Booth. Oh, Oh, Colony got a hand to it.
Petrov, he's been everywhere on defense and offense this point. Doesn't need to close his hand on that one. Gets the block.
And here's the replay.
Inside out flick. Petrov poaching off his player. Gets out into that break lane and makes the block. Latamatos calling injury due to a cleat
Equipment
issue.
Problem.
If you haven't spotted it yet, he was wearing 2 different cleats, actually, which may have contributed to it.
So I believe I-Beam also swapped a couple of players as well. Looks like they're resuming play.
And Mark Evans will pick up the disc and walk it up to the front of the end zone.
Excellent choice.
Angus McDonald sets up in the dump.
You've got Booth standing a bit deeper of his player, probably worried about that deep threat. They have been punting it.
Spielman
deep.
comes under,
And
immediately launches the big lefty
there it
backhand.
is.
Francis,
And
nice and easy pancake
Lovely.
catch on the chest. Colony saying, I know we've had a couple of hucks that haven't worked this point, but
keep them
we're
coming.
persisting, and it pays off.
So,
No fear, no fear.
There's the replay for Colony's play. The huck goes up and just cruises right into the end zone. Lovely throw, lovely cut. So we have I-Beam on offense.
Hodgson setting up to pull.
All right, Paul's going up. All righty, Davey on disc. Oh, great grab from Davey. Looking. Reset's not coming. That's a reset. There you go. Oh. Colony's, looks like there was a call. Colony's trying to up the intensity on that defense. Try and generate a turn. So disc is back in play. Oh, cheeky. Right at the top of the defender. Lovely. Newcastle being pretty safe with their options. Lifting their intensity to match Colony. Oh, intercepted by Hodgson.
Hodgson gets it after the I-Beam player slips over. Not quite able to keep his footing. Swings it across to Sutas and then Evans. The Dingo teammates linking up nicely.
Oh, great hands.
Hodgson's looking deep. He's got 3 I-Beam defenders following him.
Oh,
Djordjevic to
there we go. There
Hodgson
it is.
for the goal. And that's 10-6 to Colony.
There's the replay. So,
Nice up line.
He was pretty free in the end zone there.
Yeah, wide open.
Bit of miscommunication probably on defense, but all right, so we're 10-6 to Colony. We've got a lot of excited local players about the fact that we've got Canberran commentators, so they're occasionally coming by for the bits of banter, so you might hear a few murmurs of it.
Colony on defense at this point. They've got Spielman setting up to take the pull.
I-beam's ready to go. Pull goes up. Looks like Wilson on the pull. Reception. Straight to Davey. To Booth. Back to Wilson. Oh. Colony trying to get the hands in up the line. Bid from Colony for a block. Probably looking for a swing right about now. Booth up for the disc. To Davey. That's some really good looking offense from I-beam. Colony is definitely ramping up the intensity to try and get another break. But that was some really clean offense from I-beam. There's the replay. Just some really calm offense from I-beam.
And then hitting the break side for the goal. They've been pretty eager throughout the game to look to that inside break or relatively flat throw on the inside to open up the break side for following passes, and it's
working out well for them.
Working out well for them. They've had a few that have floated up and got caught in the wind or haven't quite completed, but they're continuing to persist and it's paying dividends. So it's now 10-7 to Colony. Colony on offense. Ladamatos back on the field after his cleat issue.
Looks
now
like his cleats are matching.
Same cleats. Yeah, they're matching for the first time this game.
Maybe we'll try to get an interview with him later to hear about his cleat choice.
Mitchell to Hodgson. Newcastle
Bit
I-beam.
of a zone from I-beam. Lots of talk.
Hodgson. Colony pretty happy to size it up, have a look at it before they get too aggressive. Francis comes under.
Great cover by I-beam.
Pivoting hard.
Oh!
Finds Thomas. Mitchell and Thomas cutting into the same space. Made it a little bit dangerous there for a moment.
Very
Hodgson
close.
up line.
Tim Booth.
Doesn't like the first couple of options. Finds Thomas, who then hits Callan. Spielman, who's wide open after his defender tried to poach off for an earlier block.
Booth trying to get a bit of a block there.
Showing his old man wiles.
11-7 to Colony. The wind is picking up a little bit, so we'll see if that affects any of the plays.
It's coming crossfield towards the camera mainly, maybe with a little bit of right to left in it at the moment, and we'll keep you updated. But it's nothing too heavy.
Not too heavy at all.
And the throwers of the caliber that we have in this game shouldn't be too phased for it. It'll be more a question of adjustment and recognizing it rather than holstering a lot of throws. We just got to have a look at Latimatos' cleat up close and personal. There is a hole.
There is quite a big hole in it.
3 inches. Yeah.
So pulls come down to Wilson. Bid pretty keen for that Callahan. Doesn't quite get it. Got Hayes on disc now.
Colony playing a bit of a transition this point. Willing to switch quite a lot at the start of that
goes
point.
Up. It's big. Straight into the end zone.
Bit of miscommunication about who was handling the deeps there perhaps for Colony, as there were 2 I-beam players deeper than all the rest of Colony. Ends up being an easy goal.
So there's the replay. Yeah, it seemed like a bit of a miscommunication.
And afterwards, Evans patted himself on the chest and took responsibility for that one. He said, "My bad, guys. I'm sorry." Knowing Evans, he'll look to make up for it at this point.
Definitely. All right, so Colony coming out on offense. Booth with the pull.
Big inside out. Mitchell to receive. Immediately centers to Latimatos. And I-beam playing their junk again.
It looks like it'll transition,
Hodgson.
but they might not have time.
With the big outside in flick to the fat side to Spielman, who takes it pretty uncontested.
Catching up.
And then finds a
Lovely.
lone Evans in the end zone. Colony seeing I-beam scoring a couple of passes, responds and says, "We can do that too."
So we've just been informed that you can indeed rewatch these games later on the After YouTube account.
And you will be able to catch the first half of this game, which we weren't quite able to send out
with pictures,
with live action pictures. But the full game in all its glory will be uploaded for your viewing pleasure.
With probably more than just our lovely voices, giving you a sort of play-by-play.
The lack of Zoom at the moment also means that for all those Frisbee analysts and expert technicians of the game, they'll be able to analyze all the structures and plays happening downfield. For those of you that want the nitty-gritty close-ups, unfortunately, we're working on it. Hopefully be able to deliver that a little bit later on. If you like, we can start describing the facial expressions on the players.
Oh, okay. Well, if you'd like, you can go left to right. Like, pumped up, excited, focused.
Evans
Big
with the
pull.
pull.
And that's gone out the back of the end zone. And it looks like Davey's gone to get it. Davey bringing it back to the front of the end zone. Horror stack from I-beam.
Colony looking like they're playing a poachy man defense in response to I-beam's horror.
Looking for a deep option. Not quite there. The quick handler movement is definitely looking good. Looking for the deep option. Great grab. Bit of a spike. That brings us to 12-9 to Colony. There's the replay if you wanted to see that grab again. Colony players closing in. Easy grab.
Gets up nice and early, showing off his hops. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. As Latamados plucks a bit more grass, does a bit more gardening, throws some grass into the wind to see what's happening. The Colony. Colony on offense.
And we've got Booth with the disc for the pull. He also plucked some grass to see where the wind is going.
We've got Thomas, Petrov, Latamados, McDonald, Mitchell, Hodgson, and Spielman.
All right.
Almost every single one of these Colony players having represented Australia at some level or another, be it juniors,
It's a pretty good team roster.
23s, grown-ups, or some other description. Hodgson with it now on the sideline.
Trying to trap him.
Not happy with what's happening upfield. Goes back to Mitchell. Mitchell looks for the give and go move. Doesn't get it off.
Big
Hodgson,
overhead. Crossfield.
Hammer crossfield to Thomas.
Oh,
Who goes fat
looking
side with the
fat
forehand,
side.
looking for Spielman. He's got two defenders on him.
Doesn't quite get there.
A little bit out in front. Not quite able to get down to it.
Oh, straight away. Straight off the bat.
We're back to play now. As I-beam
Straight
immediately
into
looked
the end
deep.
zone. It
Hodgson
was
hot in pursuit.
not quite in, so he's at the front of the end zone.
And the timeout
Timeout call.
We know there was a lot of controversy at Div 2 Nats
There was quite a lot of it.
over the efficacy of midpoint timeouts. Apparently there's an 80% fail rate on these.
Well, we'll just see how this one plays out. It could be in the 20%. So
We're following
these stats may not be verified, but we heard about them during the Div 2 Nats live stream. So we'll see how this goes.
They've been verified by Max Howden. That's
Oh,
good
really?
enough for me.
Oh, okay. I'm convinced. Let's go with 80%.
But we'll see if I-beam can buck the trend. See if they can be that 20%. See if they can be. Bit of discussion among the film crew here as to what the stats really should be. 60-40, maybe a little bit more generous than the 80% fail rate, but I don't know.
It probably has a bit to do with the momentum of the game as well.
Actually, how about this? We'll count for the rest of the tournament. This is the first one that I think we've seen so far. First midpoint timeout.
All right, we'll do our own stats then. That sounds good. We've
After
got
this, it'll either be 100% or 0%. So
All right. Although it's based purely on the live streamed game, so we may be lacking some stats from other games, so I don't know how accurate our information will be.
feel free to tweet in or comment or smoke signal your opinion on the matter. What do you think the completion rate is after a midpoint timeout? How often do you think they convert it into a goal, and how often does it lead to a quick turnover?
All right, so I-beam setting up now.
4 cutters in the end zone with Tim Booth at the front, probably looking to isolate himself. And they've got 3 handlers out.
Let's see how Colony responds.
Maybe looking like a bit of a clam, poaching out into the space off both sides of the stack. Really trying to take away all the options, including that fat side forehand, which has been effective for Colony this game.
All right. Oh, and it goes up. It's Blady. And that's a block from Colony.
Big Blady forehand. That was 0% completions off midpoint turnovers so far.
Rough. All right. Let's get back in.
Mitchell
Great grab.
goes around to Latamados. Back to Mitchell. Doesn't like the swing that Spielman provides. Instead, dumps to Latamados.
Nice.
McDonald immediately gets it back. Looking for
Looking
Petrov
big.
deep. Big
Here it
backhand.
goes.
Petrov
Get under.
with an army of
there's
defenders
4
chasing him.
players.
Goes upstairs.
Oh, huge.
What a grab.
And he
Climbs
just
the
walks
ladder.
away. Casual toss of the disc. That's another on the board for Colony. I hope there's a replay of that because that was quite great.
Petrov, an extremely athletic young player.
All right, I think the replay is coming.
This is the replay straight out of the timeout.
Yep.
Chooses to throw a
Blady
blade
throw.
onto the top of the stack.
Yep.
Yeah. Just getting confirmation from the I-beam players on the sideline that
Here's the
that wasn't
replay
the
of
plan.
the replay of the big grab. 4 players under that disc.
Petrov says, I don't care if I'm outnumbered 3-1. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go up high, take it early. And that takes it to 13-9 for Colony. In response to those questions coming in on the stream, this is Max.
This is Angie, and welcome to the stream.
We'll be here at least for the rest of today.
Yep, I'll be here all of tomorrow as well. Don't know if Max is sticking around. He might abandon me to go play some frizz.
There's only so much time you can spend on the sideline before you want to get out there and do it yourself.
Oh, that's true.
That pull just got a little bit too much juice on it.
Yeah.
Maybe one too many wheat bix.
Yep, back
Goes
to
out.
the front of the end zone.
I think it'll be a
Or
brick.
brick, actually.
I think it'll be a brick out
Looks
on the
like a
fall.
brick. All right.
The standard I-beam horror that they've been using a lot this game. Standard
Bit of handler
poachy
movement.
defense from Colony.
Yep. Pick cold, upfield. Disc will say where it is. And coming in on 2. Looking for a swing. And intercepted.
Benjamin Sudas with the run-through block.
And
the bookends!
Happy days.
Quick flick to the end zone. Sudas says, I'll take all the stats. Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's the way to go.
So we get a bit of a replay here.
Yeah.
I-beam dumps it.
And here comes the
Looks
run
inside.
through block. Nice. And straight away looks for that stat. Very nice.
And that's
probably,
14-9.
Probably one of the best feelings when playing defense, getting a block and then getting to catch a goal straight away.
Absolutely.
That's the dream.
Benjamin Sutas is living the dream right now. Colony now on the doorstep, 14-9 on defense. If they can get a break here, that'll take the game. And we just heard
time cap has
go.
gone, so
it's game to 15. No matter what, I think time cap went during that last point.
yep. Oh, wow, okay. That's a big pull. It's gone all the way out and looking to come all the way back in. And that's in. Great pull. Davey on disc. To Wilson, I believe. Trying to move that off that sideline to Davey. He's looking deep. Goes for a swing instead. Just working it through the handle space. Looking for a better option.
Miscommunication there on where the dump was going.
Looking for a quick score.
And Latimatos to Hodgson.
Not
Can't quite toe it in.
And that was a goal, so I believe that's game.
That is game. 15-9. Sydney Colony over Newcastle I-beam. I think Colony just showed a little bit more class than I-beam throughout that game. And a little bit more depth as well. I-beam very reliant on Davey and Booth to do a lot of their handling and throwing duties, whereas Colony was able to take advantage of their deep stack and their deep roster, and the high quality players throughout that roster.
Colony also playing some really intense defense to get those breaks and just converting. So great job, Colony.
And we'll leave it there, folks, and we'll come back for the next game.
All right, see you soon, guys.